for being here this afternoon. First, I wanted to start with a fellow farmer. And I'm sorry I wasn't here for part of the testimony, but so if you've covered this in other questions, but my apologies. But could you pronounce your name for me? Hamo? Many number of producers in my state probably fall in the same category that you do, as being a rancher that you described as relatively small operation. So could you help me understand by describing from your perspective the benefits you may see in a mandatory price reporting system, and also maybe on the converse side, what issues you could see that would better improve the system to make it better for small operations?
Well, mandatory pricing system is, to me, an absolute. If you go back to the voluntary, it was kind of one-sided. Whatever the packer or the person that was recording it wanted to give and take, I guess. Mandatory, it gives all cuts, and all the records are all kept as needed, and I guess I should say are authenticated. And when it was a voluntary, we didn't know what we were getting. We sometimes you only got what people wanted you to hear, I guess. Under mandatory, we know that it is a reliable source. The voluntary, you go back before '99, it was probably whatever the person wanted to trade in or give the information to. So I don't think there's anything but mandatory we can accept in this day and age to be acceptable. To update it and make it better, we have worked as a group here and with AMS and saying that there's things that different reports, as we brought in a report today, 3 different items we'd like to, besides, I guess I should say, the one that it is an essential thing we have to have. We can't afford another shutdown within the system as we did in 2013. But there's several things we always can tweak to go into the future, because markets do change. But I think as far as different reports, we want the 24-hour report to make it into the next day reporting and things like that. There's always tweaking we can do as the markets change through modernization and so forth, and new markets coming forward. Mm-hmm. But I think mandatory is the only way we can go. It's just an absolute for us in our business.
Good. Thank you very much. I think, Mr. Dopp, if you could perhaps put on your consumer hat and speak from the perspective of what kinds of benefits American shoppers could anticipate under a mandatory price reporting system.
Well, I guess I look at it this way. The greater the transparency in terms of what the information that the producer gathers, the information that the packer processor gathers, and the information, frankly, that my members, customers gather, hopefully provides for a more efficient, more effective marketplace, and hopefully that results in lower prices to the consumer. And that's what this system, I believe, is intended to create. That all flows to ultimately it's supposed to flow to the benefit of the consumer, I believe. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, I think
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah, thank you. And then quickly, Dr. Morris, could you talk specifically about what steps are taken to protect buyer and seller identity in the price reporting process?
We're required under statute to protect the confidentiality of those packers that are required, and lamb importers that are required to report. We basically subject all the information that we receive to a statistical test that was referenced earlier in the testimony that ensures that. That's withstood external review from a variety of groups. We have worked closely as especially the sheep industry has seen consolidation in the packing sector in the firms that are required to report, to see if there are modifications that can be made to that, and we're willing to look into those issues for sure. Mandatory price reporting is a very powerful tool. You are, to those firms that are required to report, exposing essentially all of their business practices. As Mr. Dopp referenced, hopefully that brings a much more efficient and effective marketplace to the benefit of consumers. But it's incumbent on us to ensure that that information also protects the business interests of those packers, which are required to essentially disclose information that other market participants are not.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate the opportunity. I yield back.